Nice and relaxed on your hands. Oh, beautiful.
Huh?
Gently, gently. A lot better. Just really back that hand speed down, yeah? Even if we're not on camera, let's back the hand speed down. Let's try and take good shots.
You enjoy coaching?
I love it, yeah. Yeah, I get more enjoyment out of the coaching than shooting. The most enjoyment comes from winning, obviously, but coaching, just watching, you know, when I first met Nikki, she was shooting a 28-inch, another make of gun, which I'm not going to mention, and not shooting it very well, were you?
No, it was okay.
You know, and then we, no, it wasn't okay. It wasn't okay. It really wasn't okay. And then we changed to the Krieghoff here, and then you won the German Championship by 25 targets, a full 25. And then we went to Holland and we shot the Dutch Championship where most of the GB team were there, the French team was there, the Italian team was there, and you got a bronze medal. Mm-hmm. And we went back last year and me and Frank was trying to keep our eyes on the scoreboard and not let Nikki sort of know where she was coming, and she needed to shoot a big 23 on a hard layout to win her first major title, and she went out and shot 23 and won the gold medal. So, you know, I find that as rewarding as she does on the podium. You know, what the gratification that I get from seeing her up there performing like that with all my students is as good as shooting myself. The first target we're going to come to here is right to left rabbit. We've just seen Nikki shoot it, and there's a lot of common faults that you will find with a target like this. You know, a rabbit has a background to it, so it's going to appear quicker than it actually is. It's also, because it's in contact with the floor, it's going to slow down quicker than a normal standard. We've also got to look for variables in its flight path. So, you know, there's a couple of bumps out here where that rabbit could possibly jump. So I don't want to commit to the shot by then. So I've picked this nice flat area as my kill point. My viewpoint is right back here. I'm going to sort of get my hands on that clay at the halfway point. Then I'm going to try and match its speed and slow down at the relative speed that it is before at the last minute applying my lead. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Pull. Pull. As the gun comes from the hold point, my hands just start to move slowly as that rabbit appears on my viewpoint, and on the shot cam you'll see it perfectly that the barrel matches the bird here, and from there it just stays with the clay, learning its speed, learning where it's going, and when it enters my kill zone you'll just see my body turn and pull away to my lead. One of those on the shot cam you'll see I shot later, because right in the middle here it took a big jump which sends me off sync. I have to let it come back down to the ground, match up with him again before I take that shot a little later. Any kind of rabbit, anything like this, it's all down to your hand speed, letting your eyes work first, hands matching the speed before we enter the kill zone and just pull away to that predetermined lead.
What about position of hands on stock? Is it different to a bird?
I don't move my hands. You know, I like to think that I've got enough core strength and also discipline to let my hands match the speed. You know, if they throw a 70-yard bird, I can move from here. If they throw a 10-yard bird, you just put the brakes on, turning from the middle here, which is going to allow me to match any target speed. I'm not one for shuffling around. As you can possibly see here, my thumb never moves. It's worn the blue in a way because that always sits in the same place, which gives me that nice reference point that I'm going to be consistent in everything that I do.
And it's consistency is key, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You know, the shooters just got better and better now. You know, I'm working very hard with Nikki and Frank here to get them consistent. When you can get to that 80% level, you've pretty much mastered the fundamentals. Now it's all about the next level and not making those little mistakes, you know, holding back too far on here and making a too fast a move. You hold further back, the gun moves quicker. So it is just fine tuning and really being consistent. And you know, little things like this just tell me that I'm consistent in everything that I do with the gun. That leads me down to fundamental technique and lead, what shooting's about.
And starting on something like a rabbit, is it just trigger time, consistency again?
No, for me, shooting's all about spaces, you know. You're either going to shoot straight at something or you're going to shoot 15, 20 foot in front of something. You know, that space has to be the same 4 times at English sporting. So if you're going to shoot off timing and you're going to match the speed and just pull away and shoot, yeah, it's going to work one day, it's not going to work the next. I'm all about specific spaces and letting visually be strong, that I can see the correlation between the clay and the barrel and know that, you know, that specific space looks like this, and I'm going to do that 3 more times. If I miss it, I've now got a starting point because this didn't work, and I've got 2 choices. We either go bigger or we go smaller, and I believe that's why I've been as successful as I am, because I see with my eyes, not just timing. It's so important to do the same thing over and over again. You know, an easy reference point, you pin the tail on the donkey. If you've got a blindfold on, you're not very good. Take your blindfold off, you're probably going to win. And that's what I'm doing here. I want to shoot with the blindfold off, and I want to see specific spaces.
We did a film recently with a guy who said anyone that closes one eye is basically guessing. I mean, would you concur? Is that something, do you ever teach someone to close an eye?
I don't know who that guy was, but he probably wants to go back and get a bit more education in shooting, because if you've got a left dominant eye, you've got to close it down if you're right-handed. I've got very successful lady shooters. Nikki's got a patch on her eye. Her left eye's taken out the equation. She's already, you know, 7th in Europe and winning major World Cup events. So I don't believe that's true.